What's up, people? It is Identify Different, hashtag 1850. I have some things on my mind. Like our great ancestors. I can name a few. The Honorable Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, um, the Honorable Malcolm X, Ida B. Wells, um, and the list goes on. Emmett Till, poor little child who was brutally murdered. Hmm. Anyway, now, um, I'm not saying all churches, just the ones that I'm familiar with that affected my life. Um, in some of these places are organizations, like the Church of God is an organization. So, if you are an organization, then in order to keep your upstanding character, your name, to be looked upon as, yes, this church is upstanding, um, and the people there are too, you really need to go in and examine what's going on, examine the community. That's with any um, establishment uh, giving a service out to the public. And the church members, which are some are my family dynamic that I know, or knew, thought I knew, because I don't know them at all, because they are trying to red run me, because what they do is live off the back of other people by red running them. They come with the appeal of, I come in the name of Jesus. I call him Yeshua HaMashiach. And they want to appear holy. And you know what the Bible says about that. Their hearts is far from it. And that be the case with the people that I have ran into. I was out exercising, so forgive me, okay? Um, Although I'm not here for appearances, because what you need to be paying attention to is the message, not what I look like. But I know some of my doppelganger envious ditches, they want to go on that because they're low lives, they're low vibing, and I don't know if you're ever going to get up before you meet your untimely demise. But anyway, if you do or don't, stop looking at what I look like and listen to the message. If you are the dirtbag going around praying, P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y, on individuals in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, may the blood of Yeshua work against you and your veil be peeled off your face so everybody will know who you are. And what I mean by that is, these people, as I knew them growing up, were pretending with me the whole time. They were stealing something from me and stealing my identity, my true identity, from whom I came from and whom I belong, a family that must have some stature, some clout, and some money. And so they use me, and so now they want to red run me, because the monies that they want to get, they can't get because I'm still alive. Thank you, Elohim. Um, and so, anyway, uh, how these people live today, and some of them, they did have jobs, But if there is a forensic accountant that will go over their payroll or their banking, they would clearly see that your payroll did not afford you to live a life that you're trying to live off of red rumming people with life insurance fraud. And then whoever is in contract with you that works for uh, the underwriters of life insurance, um, these people, it's a whole collaborate scheme, pyramid scheme. They're making human bodies like a lottery scam. Your body to go to the morgue so I could live happily off your back when I put you in a coffin, that is. So, you know, it's really a shame that this is going on, but it is going on, and people need to pay attention because this is a real life story for me. If you go look at my other videos, you will understand if you have that spirit to inner stand and then outer stand what I am conveying over my videos and over my life with these types of individuals. Now, these people come in the name of Yeshua, and they're coming in your homes. They're praying for your elderly loved ones. But when you see them, they might be praying. But when you're not there because you're trusting of them, they're probably going through your loved one's paperwork and taking some with them so they can indoctrinate a fraudulent life insurance. So as they're coming over there doing divination and incarnation of dark magic to put your loved one in the ground quicker, they have gladly won what they were there to achieve, which is to put your loved one in the ground, check out what's going on in their finances, their assets, or get their signature indoctrinated on a document, like, and put them on a life insurance policy so when they keel over, you will never know that they also benefited off your loved one because they have someone working for them in an underwriter's undersigning office that has contracted with these people along with morticians. So, you know, it's a dirty little game, but it is going on. But I declare and decree you will not have my life. I will expose you. You will not shut me up until the Most High allows you to murder me, if that be the case. But I am here to expose you, to tell the masses what they need to look for, and that is, if you're going to allow someone to pray for your loved one, stand your butt there and let them pray and then get them out of your home or out of your loved one's home. Your loved one is already fragile and may be experiencing some uh, senility or dementia, or if they're fragile and sick, then they're not up to par to be assertive, to see that somebody is walking all through their house looking at things that they ought not be looking at, or putting things in their food that they ought not be putting into their food, because that also happened to me with family, lovers. But yet I'm still here to talk about, like Jonah of Nineveh, it is time to spread the word about what is going on. I heard something, so I had to look because I can't see what's going on in my left because I'm looking at this camera. But I know that I am a person who is targeted, heavily targeted, and so I have to pay attention to my surroundings. So please, I am paying attention to my message, but please allow me to look around to ensure that I can look at my opponent if they're trying to strike me at any time. Anyway, in some of my videos and like TikTok, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. When you put that first warning on me without an explanation, like I said, if it's because of names that I am calling out about my real life, they are public figures. So they can be called out and they can be scrutinized when they do not do the right thing. And that is what I am doing. And if you are trying to take away my amendment rights of doing so, there's something wrong with you. And maybe perhaps a lawsuit needs to come upon your platform. Period. Now, as I said before, Attorney General, Madam Pam Bondi, you and I spoke. You and I conversated about a situation about my son and me being stalked back in 2008, 2010, somewhere along there, shortly after, I wasn't getting what I needed from the local law officials about what's going on with my son's case. So therefore, in your position, madam, you had time to research me, to look over my life, to say, oh, she's a targeted individual. This is just what I perceived because you didn't help me. The only thing you helped with is you sent me my email back and told me to go back to the same people that are abusing me. And then eventually they did give me a presumptive death certificate on my middle child that went missing, and I never found his body because it was by design, because you law officials knew, some of them, and this family dynamic knew that you had convinced my son, who was trying to become a rapper, that if you do this for us, pretend that you are deceased, then we will heighten your career. You had to promise this child something, because I wasn't living a lavish lifestyle like some of you were, because you have already read rum people. And I'm talking about my family dynamic that I knew. So you convinced my son to do this. They convinced all three of my children to turn against me with black magic and lies. And now, some of you, if not all, I'm sure you're going through some turmoil in your life for trying to give it to me. And yet, every day I rise. And yes, I am sick of the car, sick of this lifestyle. But you know what? I'm still here to tell the masses about what is capable of humans, adult bullies who believe in criminal activity, a pyramid scheme to put your body, your social security number, as a lottery ticket for them to live and give to their lineage, and then to destroy you and your lineage, because that's what they did to me. So again, I say, Attorney General, Madam Pam Bondi, you and I knew each other way back when, so you must be learned about this attack on me, because it didn't just start in 2022. It's been going on longer than that. So if you have the tools, which you do, to know what's going on, you knew about this, and so you decided to take a bribe. That's what I'm perceiving, because I have not got my justice yet. Explain yourself to me. Why you have not contacted me when I contacted your office. Well, wait a minute. Let me rewind. Attorney General, Madam Ashley Moody, I contacted you June 2024. I still have not heard back from your office. I contacted DOJ in 2022 when I was living with that brother figure who was also trying to kill me, trying to put oxygen tanks in the house so that when he mysteriously goes to the hospital, he would entrap me in that apartment to be a human explosive device, because you know you can do that with oxygen. hmm So that was his next thing. Not caring about we're in an apartment and we live around other people, but then again, some of those people was in his pocket because he was also sleeping with some of those immigrants and paying them with those prepaid cards to sleep with him. You nasty, disgusting buzzard. See, this is the type of things that these men folk do in this coven. They're all sleeping with one another. So, ma'ams, I advise you to really observe your husband, or maybe some of you already know that your husband sleep with both sexes. I don't know, but what I do know is they think that in some cases it has um, benefited them to sleep with one another doing a sexual ritual of dark magic. Um, but in saying that, I mean, they're also infecting women with a disease from their sexual deviant practices. So then that brings me into mind when I also contacted CDC in 2024, I do believe it was. But I also told local law enforcement about my last lover who tried to infect me with an incurable disease, who is also in this coven. And so this person is allowed to continue being a warlock, if will, and sleeping with people's husbands or even their wives and infecting them with an incurable disease and producing children. And I know they say, I mean, at least I heard, I'm not sure about this, but I thought I heard one time that if a pregnant woman is pregnant and she has HIV, it is a chance that when the child is born, it could not be infected. It could obtain its own immune system. And hopefully that is the case for some of you who's having these babies or these encounters with these fools who don't care anything about their life nor yours or the children that you are producing. And then some of you women are so ridiculous. You're getting impregnated as a ritual and then going to abort it. Shame on you. And you think that the Most High is written in there about same sex, sexual things, and then you go and abort a baby so you can try to harm somebody or live lavish after creating a life that God has allowed to come in your body, and then you go abort it so you can try to come up. And you think that HPV is running wild for a non-reason? I don't think so. So, when you take a life, get ready for yours to be taken too. That's called reciprocity. Learn it, know it. Now, so let's go back to the madams in charge, public figures. You all know who I am. You know what's going on with my life. Governor DeSantis, you was contacted too in 2024 of June. So you all know exactly who I am. But for some reason, you're acting like your ancestors of old, the ones who enslaved a lot of melanated people, because I'm melanated and I'm singular in the visual eye to you, in that, it doesn't matter if we just go ahead and knock her off. That's what I'm perceiving when I'm being ignored by a department that is supposed to protect and serve. And then, as I see it, this group is getting more people on board to attack me instead of you doing your job to combat what is already started way back when I contacted you back then, Attorney Pam Bondi. And then President Trump, how you doing? Uh, you were very methodical and meticulous about who your group was going to be when you get in office. Well, sir, I'm just asking, are you too um, against me? Or did you not know that some of your constituents that you chose are full of SHIT because they know about my situation and they did nothing? So if you are a reputable president, I'm asking you to go speak to your choices that you put in office in a position that is very prestigious, that can either make or break a person like me down. So I'm asking you to go speak to them. Or is there also somehow a problem with you as well? I'm just asking these questions. You know, closed mouths don't get fed, and I cannot be afraid of what you have already done. You have already put me out in this world to defend myself, so I must defend myself by speaking to my foes, my opposition. So, you know, because again, I know these old people that I know as family or in my community, they could not pull this off without outside help of people in powerful places. They cannot do that. They are not that educated because, you know, some of your ancestors and have abused the people that raised them and the people that raised them before, you know, when we go back, history, right? So they're not that smart to be able to pull this off without other means of help in high places and people in different organizations. That's why you have these sorority groups. It's not because, oh, I'm associated with Beta Alpha Kappa. No, it's because you are a dark, secret society that you come into agreement that your secrets will remain in the room, kind of like what stays in Vegas. What we do in Vegas stays in Vegas. What we do in our secret society stays here. Is that why Elohim is upset? Because it has been staying there, and you have been getting by and unaliving people and living lavish of lives that you have taken unwarranted because you want to live this lavish life. So all of you are in the pool of other people's blood, and they are crying out and they are speaking through me to tell you, you are not going to get away with this. You will not enjoy a penny of this money that you have obtained off ruining, destroying, unaliving people. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I decree and declare that the ancestors that you have reverenced, they are standing beside me. You may not see me, but I feel them. They're here. They're speaking. And they are going to fight for me to live and see you go down. Period. You do not get to gloat, live lavish, have the babies that you want to have, and then destroy other people's families as if you did not do it. You have done that back in the 80s when you put crack in the communities, and then, like the movie Claudine, you want welfare to take care of mothers, and then you started this LGBTQ whatever group because you don't want the man and the woman in the house. So now people are turning to same sex, and they could be in the same house and get resources. But a man and a woman, oh no, you can't. He can't give you gifts. He can't pay your rent. We're not going to help you if you do. How diabolical in a bunch of BS the government has indoctrinated as to how a family is supposed to look. Now, if I know what I know and you know what you know, a family is made when a man and a woman come together and procreate. So therefore, you are trying to destroy that. And again, I don't care who's sleeping with who. I'm only talking about what Elohim said it should be. You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, but please do not try to destroy what Elohim says is correct. And then destroy it, and then take away resources, beat the man down, or put him in prison, and then he's not there with his children. And then the vicious cycle just keep going on, where the mother is working so she can't raise her lineage correctly because she's at work, especially in this climate of economic disparity with you all doing the things that you do. You raise rent, you raise mortgages, you raise the price of a house, cars, you fluctuate the gas. I mean, really. And it's all like a game to you, especially the ones with a whole bunch of loot. That's why it's really time for that scripture, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. It's really time for that to come into effect, because you people who are, up there in power, you're not doing the right things, some of you, towards other people so they could have some type of hope, dream, feel comfortable in their house, feel wanted, appreciated with their families, and not husbands and wives fussing, or people fighting and having to police to come because there is a red rum suicide, or there's just a red rum because one of the spouses got upset about what's going on in the arguments about economics, money, paying the bills, just like that crack was. It's socially engineered. There is no reason why somebody cannot live comfortably on this earth because of money disparages. You raise up things, and then somebody can come on and say, "Oh, I've already paid all my taxes, blah, blah, blah." The poor is paying more taxes than the rich. How does that make sense? It doesn't. That is diabolical, like absolute immunity. Like I said, absolute immunity gives that person the power to red rum, to cause havoc, to cause diabolical things to happen to a individual at their will, at their command, and that is unacceptable. And who is these people in power? You politicians, you congressmen, I believe you do need to rewrite that, because that is ridiculous. That is a weapon all by itself, absolute immunity, for somebody who can become senile and you wouldn't know it until it just really take root to dementia. And then they're in their office sitting back saying, "Ooh, let me do this today, mess this up for somebody." Right, that part. Absolute immunity. Get rid of it. Nobody needs to be immune from anything that they are capable of doing because we all have a dark side to us. It's whether it comes out or you utilize it in the wrong way. And some of you are doing just that because, like I said, Attorney General, Madam Pam Bondi, you and I know each other from way back when. So you sought, when I contacted your office, you knew exactly who I was. That's why you sent that email back to me to go back to the people that were abusing me. Period. That's my perception of a thing. So, if you don't want me to perceive you wrong, then handle this situation and bring me my justice, please.